feel good. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday afternoon. Welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show. Yes, another episode of the Chad Prather Show. We are going to get into it today, and I can't wait. I can't wait to have this conversation that we're going to have. I hope you guys are doing well. Do me a favor while you're in the chat there. If you're joining us by way of Rumble, even those of you over there that still can't get away from the Google overlords on YouTube, we still love you. Get over to the Chad Prather Rumble. I want you to leave a comment in the chat. Let's blow that chat up. Float a couple of American flags in there. Give me some of those prayer hands, something like that. Just let me know you're alive. And while you're watching, I want you to hit like underneath the video. Let's boost this algorithm and get this party started. Make sure that you're in the chat. Make sure you're commenting. If you have not subscribed yet, I want you to do that. And please go over to where podcasts are offered, where that's the place where you listen to them. Don't watch them. You listen to them, whether it's Apple or Spotify or whatever that may be. And I want you to leave me a rating and review. 5 stars is what we deserve because we're working hard for you. Hope everybody had a great weekend. We had a fantastic weekend over in Kansas. We crisscrossed Kansas, did a couple of live shows Friday, Saturday night, sold out crowds everywhere we went. We had a beautiful time with those folks. Always fun. And then we flew home out of Denver. I have something miraculous that's going on in my life right now, and I can't wait to share that news. I can't share it with you today, but tomorrow I got a feeling I'm going to be able to share it with you. It is amazing. I'll tell you, God's in the business of restoring things. You might have experienced some loss in your life, and maybe it feels like you've been putting everything in a bag with holes in it. But God is a God who restores. And you know what? He will bring back far more than you've lost. And I'm excited about some things that are going on. And I'm going to share it with my family, my Chad Prather Show family. I'm so thankful you guys are here. This is going to be fun. Before we get into it, I want to remind you about my friends over at Patriot Protect. We just talked to Skip last week. He's the guy that started the whole Patriot Protect organization, and they do a phenomenal job. You know, one of the things that I noticed recently, after I signed up with Patriot Protect, a lot of the spam emails that were coming in my inbox, they went away. I was like, man, am I unpopular suddenly? No, it's just I wasn't getting spammed anymore. The spam phone calls stopped. And they started scraping the internet, the dark web, the deep web, because these AI cyber criminals are out there. They are scooping up your information and using it against you. So I want you to go over to patriot-protect.com/chat. I want you to sign up for their monthly program. It's just a couple dollars a month, and it's worth every penny. And then also, I want you to get their blackout protection. That's a one-time fee, and I promise you, you do not want these scammers out there getting a hold of your information. So check them out, patriot-protect.com/Chad. All those phishing emails. And listen, if somebody texts you something and you don't know what number it is and they're asking you a question, don't respond to that. Don't respond to that. They're trying to get some kind of typed out answer from you. I'm just telling you, Patriot Protect, they'll help you. They'll save you a whole lot of hardship in the days ahead. And this cybercrime has gotten sophisticated. Before we get into a serious conversation, let me bring on the guy that's not so serious, Party Foul Steve. He's here. Ding dong. There it is. The dogs are going crazy all across America.
I can be serious when I need to. I can be serious.
You've been stressed out lately, though.
I've been stressed out, but let me tell you, this morning I cried for you. They were happy tears. So
you did. We celebrated together a little bit.
Just so you know, I love you, and
I love you too. And you know, I was sitting there today when we got some good news. I literally put my arms in the air, and I just walked around in a victory formation. I was so excited about the news we got, and I could not have done it without you.
Yeah, you were praising and thanking God, and
I was.
You know, that's I think it's something that we sometimes we forget to do it.
I know. Well, I tell you what, I was not only praising God, which I praise God every day. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes you got to build that altar and just be like, yes, here we are. It was amazing. So, thank you, Steve. Thank you. I will tell everybody what happened later. It's going to blow your minds. But tomorrow or latest Wednesday, we'll tell you the news on what happened.
God is good all the time.
I'm just telling you, man. You just never know when miracles happen and God restores things, and this was a miracle. So I couldn't have done it without you, brother, and God used you, Steve. So let's just leave it at that. We got a big conversation to get into, and so I want to grab the sponsors, get them out of the way real quick. Our friends over at Modern Warriors, if you're looking for a firearm, you're looking for tactical gear, you're looking for suppressors, you're looking for any of the accessories, I want you to go to modernwarriors.com, use promo code CHAD. I spell it Chad, and you will save with them. Check out Modern Warriors. They got all the hard to find items. If you're doing a little shopping, if you're like me, you love the firearms, you love to go to the range, you love to shoot. If you're a hunter, whatever, if you just like tactical stuff and you like to get outdoors, or you're getting prepared for the apocalypse, they got all the zombie killers you need at modernwarriors.com. Check them out. Use promo code Chad. Check them out. I love those guys. Did some shopping the other day. I get on there. The problem is I start impulse buying, Steve. That's the deal.
I know. You were like, hey, what do you want? I start picking out stuff, and
We did. I said, we did it today.
Racking up.
We did
Yeah.
it today. I said, Steve, I got a new bag. Everybody knows me, knows I love bags. I'm a bag person. I'm like a woman. It's not a purse. It's like a tactical bag or whatever. And I travel a lot. So I said, Steve, do you like this bag, the sling bag? Like, yeah, but does it come in a different color? So anyway, it'll be here in a
Well, I
couple
didn't want the
days.
same color as you, so you chose my color.
I know. This is the weirdest romance I've ever been a part of. Man, okay, say something. What are you going to say? I'll give you a defense on that.
No defense.
Okay. All right. Well, I love you too.
I'm the longest relationship you've ever been in.
Sadly true. But I want to get into this thing. I don't want to keep him waiting, man. I'm so excited. I want you guys to build a future that's worth having. If you've followed my journey, I've been very outspoken about various things, whether it is diet, whether it is wellness, whether it is hormones, whether it's testosterone and all the stuff. And I make jokes about the estrogen and the hormones when I'm on stage. You guys have laughed with me about that because getting older, it's no joke. It's not for the weak. I've talked to you about depression. I've talked to you about anxiety and just an overall mental health and wellness, well-being. I've had my struggles. I've been very transparent about that. And I'll just tell you, there's a lot of men out there that don't want to talk about those things. I'm very open about them, but I'm also wanting to be motivational and inspirational in the things that I do, because for me, I think you need to be living life to your fullest and just absolutely abundant. And we've been through the crazy things, the pandemic and the shutdowns and the lockdowns, the big pharma scares, as well as the big medical tyranny, all those things. I want you living your best life all the way around. And as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as an entertainer, I think we should be having fun. And the only way to have fun is to be living your absolute best life. And here's a guy that he's helping me live my best life, and I consider him a new friend, and I'm excited to get to know him more and more as the days go on. But he's a guy that I've kind of joined forces with in recent days, and I want you to get to know him as well. And I hope this conversation inspires you a little bit. Welcome the founder, the owner of a company that you've heard me talk about, Make Wellness, Justin Prince. Everybody, welcome him to the show. How are you, my brother? You're muted. Hang on one second. Check your microphone down there at the bottom of the deal. Let's see. It might have a little cross across your microphone down there. Do you see it? I love technology. It's amazing how that works. No, we don't have it.
No audio.
Tell you what, let's do. Let's take Justin off the screen so we don't make him feel awkward real quick. And Justin, while you're there, there we go. We got you? All right, here we go. We nailed it. All right. Perfect.
I was going to say we have to clap again. There we go.
See, I see what you did there. You just needed that cheap applause.
That's right.
Justin, how are you, man?
Man, what an honor to be on with you guys. I love your passion, love your heart, love your humor. Party foul, Steve, man. I'm not sure if I need to make sure I have my head on a swivel when you're around, or if you're my new best friend. But man, fired up to meet you guys.
Let me tell you the thing
Awesome.
about Party Foul Steve. Justin, Party Foul Steve's been on the road with me for well over a decade. He's my right-hand man and my buddy and my best friend. And we have had some adventures, but he's getting older and he's starting to calm down. And that's starting to concern me a little bit.
I have calmed down.
I hate it when he's the conscience.
No kidding.
You know what I mean? Let's talk about you a little bit, Justin. You kind of came from nothing, right? You came from a humble beginning. You've done well in business. You're a motivational guy, an extreme inspiration. Talk to me a little bit about how you got to where you are. And let's talk about where you are, and we'll get into that more, but let's talk about a little bit about where you came from and a little bit about your journey.
Yeah. So listen, like many of you, I came from basically a middle-class family. My folks got divorced when I was 12. I was my mom's oldest. So my dad had 2 kids from a prior marriage. So when my mom, when they got divorced, I was the oldest at home. We moved 13 times in the 7 years through the teenage years. And I always, I was making pizzas. I was doing construction work. I used to work at a mall. I tease people that the mall. Some of you guys will remember this. These days is a long time ago. But where put the word mall in the comments if you remember this. But if you're old enough to remember when the Amazon was a river, then you'd remember the mall, right? That's where we all used to go hang out, and we'd walk around and like trying to avoid the mall kiosk workers. I was the mall kiosk worker. I sold animated Bible videos out of a mall kiosk. Right, this is my job. And what I did have, and I hope all of you have, is I always had like big dreams for my life. I always had big goals. I had no college education. I had no real formal professional background. But what I did have is a lot of dreams and also a lot of work ethic. I was willing to kind of go for it. And long story short, start my first business at 25. The first business fails, leaves me in a really precarious financial situation. I'm back on credit cards, back on taxes. Moved my pregnant wife and our 2 kids into the loft of my wife's parents' garage. I have 2 little kids sleeping in the closet. My wife and I are in the little loft area. I pick up 2 part-time jobs, one on the weekdays, one on the weekends. And then I started another business to be free, financially free as an entrepreneur. And I'm like chasing this dream and trying to make it happen. And I remember thinking to myself, there's many nights where I'm like laying there, it's 1 a.m, pitch black in this little loft area. And I said to my wife, "Are you awake?" And she goes, "Yeah." Are you awake? I go, "Yeah." I go, "Babe, am I crazy? Is this ever going to happen for us? Like, am I chasing like a fake dream?" I knew success was possible for other people. I just didn't know if it was ever going to happen for us,
Yeah.
And fortunately, I had an amazing woman that said, "You got it. Keep going. Keep pressing." She was patient with me and breathed a lot of life into me, And long story short, since that time I've built multiple multi-million-dollar businesses. My last business over the last decade plus, we did, $2.5 billion in revenue, build a global business.
And that's with a B.
Wow.
That's with a B,
Yeah,
billion.
$2.5 billion with a B. And we just launched Make Wellness. We started shipping products about 6 months ago. We just finished our 5th full month in business. We had our official launch. So we did some like kind of pre-marketing activities, and we're shipping products and paying some commissions and so on. And man, it's been an incredible ride. We've shipped over 250,000 orders. We shipped out 52,000 last month, and we're really able to serve people at a high level. We have a product offering that one of those. It's an idea whose time has come. You hear those cliches, but it really is true. It's like kind of an idea whose time has come, and so we put together an amazing team to be able to help bring that to the market.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you. So I fell in love with you guys without knowing anything about the company. Someone came to me and said, "You need to try this," because I hate drinking water, Justin. I don't like to drink water. There's something about it. I spoke at I was at a water convention a couple of weeks ago. They brought me in to speak at this thing, and we were laughing about water. And the guy, he goes, "Well, I work with water, and I don't blame you for not wanting to drink it if you knew what it went through." But somebody gave me this right here, the Hydrate, the little pack. And they said, "Put this in your water and try it." Okay. So, I follow doctors online, and they're like, "Yeah, you got to put your electrolytes in your water and stuff like that." So I was thinking, okay, it's just another little deal. I drink it, and I was like, this is pretty good. Pretty good stuff. And then I started realizing that if I would drink that in the morning before just doping up on caffeine, I actually felt better by hydrating with electrolytes. And I go, okay, so I like this product. So people kept giving me these little packets. I didn't know anything. I didn't even read the packet to see who made it. Company called Make Wellness. And I didn't realize. And I'm easily drinking a gallon of water every day because of this stuff. And it's good stuff. Not only the flavor, but it's good for you. So
and that's a fact. That's a fact, because this weekend we drove across Kansas, and he was, I don't know how many bottles of stuff he drank, but we stopped in the middle of the road at least 3 or 4 times for him to, relieve himself.
And there's nobody out there, so you can just pee right in the Kansas wind, man. It works out. But Justin, you created this deal. We'll talk about product in a minute, this stuff, because this changed my life. And I want to tell people later on, I'm going to tell you guys some specific ways that these products have literally changed my life. I'm sitting here with a bag of needles. These are insulin needles right here. These are the little ones that everybody shoves in their gut every day. And the reason I have these, I've got boxes of these because I've taken peptides. I've stuck them under my skin for 2 years now. And we'll talk about what a peptide is. But you Justin, regardless of what anybody is doing, putting in their body or anything else, as a business person, as an entrepreneur, I saw something amazing this weekend. You posted videos of your son cleaning up around a job site. Your friend was building houses,
Yeah.
and you basically. That's what I did. My father was a builder. So my
Yep.
father, he'd take me to the job site and he'd say, you're going to sweep up and you're going to clean up. What type of ethic do you have that you're trying to impart into
Yep.
your son or the next generation where stuff like that makes a difference?
Yeah, so I didn't know that about your dad. My dad, the same thing. My dad was a home builder, land developer. So, man, it's funny. I tease him now that I'm sure he broke like every child labor law back in the day. But when I was 8 years old, so check this out. When I was 8 years old, he would take me to his job sites. This is about 8 in the morning. He'd drop me off at 8 in the morning, and he would show me what to do. I want you to clean up all the scrap wood here and scrap concrete, the concrete scraps that they didn't use. I want you to get a broom and a dustpan and sweep out all the houses. So it's what I called the gopher work. Go for this, go for that, go for this. You were just the gopher, right? I wasn't learning a technical skill, but what I did learn, and man, I'm so grateful to my dad and my mom too, but my dad is work ethic. Like I freaking learned how to work. It's hot and dusty, and it's kind of backbreaking work. It's manual. Working with your hands. And I think for all people, but specifically our boys, man, these young boys, got to teach these boys how to work with their back. Because I remember one time specifically, I jumped into we had a ditch. So imagine this. It's just this raw piece of ground, it's a bunch of weeds, but they dug out what was going to be like a little stream that was going to run through this neighborhood when the neighborhood was eventually finished. And so they had to retain it with rocks. So they had this dump truck come do these big rocks. And the best way I can describe the rocks, they were big enough that you needed two hands, but they were small enough that you felt like you could do it with one. So they weren't boulders, but they weren't tiny, right? They were just this weird shape or this weird size. So I'm about 17 years old, 18 years old. I'd wake up early, like at 2 or 3 in the morning, because it got so hot at 1 or 2 in the afternoon. So I'd try and go there early, get there about 4. So it's about 1 or 2 in the afternoon. I'm all sweaty. I have like a film of sweat. It's just the sun's beating down. I got my shirt off. I'm out there and I grab 2 rocks like this. And I jump in to the ditch and I go put the rocks down. And they go poof, and all this dust comes up over my head like this. And I'm sitting there with my eyes closed, thinking to myself, my life sucks. I am lining a ditch with rocks. Like, what am I doing with my life? I'm 17, 18-year-olds. And I remember thinking, I want to learn how to make a living with my mind and my mouth, not my back and my hands. Because up until that point, all my dollars have been with my back and my hands. But I look at that now, those are decisions that, in this case, a young boy could make that shape the rest of my career, shape the rest of my life, and where I could add value to more people that I wouldn't have learned just sitting home, just goofing around with my friends. You got to learn that by breaking your back and lifting with your hands, So my little boy comes to me, he's 12. He's just such a sweet kid. He comes to me, he's like, Dad, I want to make some extra money. I'm like, okay, cool. And I said to him, bud, let's think of some ideas. And his ideas, he's like, I don't know, what do you think? That kind of thing. So I'm on a walk in the morning and I see a neighbor that has these big bags, these big plastic, huge bags, probably 1,000 pounds each of the little pea gravel rocks. And so I said to my son, I said, let's go knock on that dude's door. I said, we practiced his pitch a few times because I didn't want to give the pitch. I wanted him to give the pitch. I said, let's go talk to this guy and you tell him your name, introduce yourself, and tell him that you're looking for some hard work and, whatever. So we go, the guy's like, yeah. I like, heck yeah, I'll take your work. So we got a wheelbarrow and I need, show him how to hold a wheelbarrow. Anyway, when we were done, just down the street from my house, one of my buddies is building a house. It's under construction right now. It's framed. And I texted my friend, said, hey, would you mind if my son goes and works on the subdivision? He goes, yeah, or on the house. He goes, yeah, that's fine. So check this out, how quick kids learn. I said, so I paid him. I didn't have my friend pay him. I paid him. I said, I'll pay X amount to go do this per hour. And he goes, man, I got to get my other friend to do this. And I said, I'll tell you what, I'll charge your business X amount per hour. You can pay your friend as one of your employees of your business and you can keep the difference. This kid's eyes just got like this big. He's like, wait, what? And so he's like, so I make this much per hour, plus I make a little bit of what they make. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, going home, trying to call all of his friends, like, guys, come work with me. And so he and one of his buddies came over, worked hard they worked hard there for 4 hours. I come back, he's got that sweat on his face. He's got the little bit of suntan, a little bit of a not burn, but just he's been out in the sun all day. And I thought, this is how you raise boys, dude. Get them out there with their hands and their back, learning an honest day's work,
I was watching these clips and it was so funny because your son's walking around. He's got his little buddy with him. He's got his employee with him now,
Yep.
right? And he's
Employee
like showing him,
number 1.
he's like, this is garbage. This is trash. This is a dead bird. It was hilarious.
He's already
to
a
watch.
boss. He's a foreman in
telling
one
you.
day.
That's right.
I kept a brick My brother is a bricklayer. My brother took over my late grandfather's business. I kept a brick on my desk in college because I knew if I failed out of college, that's what I was going back to.
Yes. Yeah.
We grew up digging ditches. We grew up laying bricks. My grandmother used to come out there, and she's like as an adult, I remember one time helping dig a foundation at the church. It wasn't my job, but I knew how to dig a foundation. And one Saturday, I was out there digging a foundation on a new addition on the church. And I'm out there with a shovel. My grandmother pulls up, and she's like, well, I guess you know how the other side lives now. And I was like, because I was like you, I wanted to make a living with my mouth, right?
Yes.
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 Not in 110-degree, 100% humidity.
Yep.
And I was sitting there thinking, here's the deal. If people got paid on the basis of how hard they work, then everybody out there digging ditches would be multimillionaires. But that's not the world we
Yes.
live in, right?
Yeah.
So the work smarter, not harder thing is an old adage, but it is something that works. And I think that there's a lot of people out there, like you said earlier, Justin, when you say, is this ever going to happen for us? I think people think, I don't know if it's a poverty mentality. I don't know if it's a spirit of poverty. I don't know if it's just a permanent negativity that's there. But I can remember sitting in my truck with $7.36 in my bank account. All I had to my name on a Tuesday, thinking I got to get to Monday before the next money comes back in. To me, finances being prosperous in all the ways, physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, that leads to freedom. And freedom leads to fun. I don't want to do it if it's not fun. So to me, it all starts with being successful. And people, there's a lot of people out there who say, it can't happen for me. It just can't happen for me. What was the thing that kind of broke for you that said, okay, this could be a reality. Success can be a reality.
Yeah, such a great question. So check this out. There's 5 stages of certainty. And question number one we want to ask ourselves is this. Guess how certain we all are about things we're certain about? We're all pretty freaking certain. So humans, we can go through all these 5 stages of certainty. And I'll share with you, before I tell you the stages, I'll share with you, there was a study done with little fleas. So a flea is like a little bug, right?
Yeah.
They put them in little 4-inch jars, a glass jar, so it's see-through. And they put a little lid over the top. Now, a flea can jump 36 to 48 inches straight up in the air. So in other words, a flea can jump 4 feet straight up in the air. So they put it in this little 4-inch glass jar, and then the fleas would jump and kind of bump their heads, as it were, against this invisible net. And then they could remove the net, and the fleas would continue to jump to where the net once was. Now, check this out. How long does that take to condition the flea? Did it take it 3 years? Did it take it 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days? My friends, it takes it 3 hours. 3 hours later, the little flea was only jumping, to the top of where the net once was. So what's happened there? The flea has become conditioned to play small. In other words, it has a belief system in its mind, a certainty level, saying, listen, I don't want to bang my head anymore on that thing, so I'm gonna play smaller. Now here's what's really interesting. The next generation of fleas, guess how high the next generation of fleas all jumped? They all jumped to the same spot they saw the parents jump. In other words, they could jump 4 feet straight up in the air. They could jump out whenever they wanted, but they had become conditioned by their environment to play small. So I share that with you to say, here's the 5 stages of certainty. Now I'm going to start at number 5. In other words, I'll start at the lowest level of certainty, and then we'll work up to the highest, right? The lowest level is it's impossible. It's impossible. Ask yourself this question. If something's impossible, your fitness program, it's impossible for you to get in shape. Your spiritual life, it's impossible for you to feel any forgiveness or have any connection. Your business plan, it's impossible this is going to work. How much time, energy, passion are you going to put into something that's impossible? This isn't going to pan out. Well, not very much, right? Why? Well, because I'm certain it's impossible. The next level up is possible. And that may seem like a small shift. My friends, that's a huge shift. If you simply say it's possible, it's one of the reasons I tell people, never resent success. Like in our country, you'll hear people say like the billionaires, like it's some sort of like bad word, or the millionaires, like they're idiots. No,
One percenters.
Listen, those people, guess what they show you? They show you that it's possible. And remember, if it's possible for one, it's possible for many. If it was impossible for everybody, well, then who's going to chase the dream, chase the vision, go for it, put in the energy, put in the work, invest the capital, put in the time? If the dream's impossible, the people that are winning are showing you at least that it's possible. And I remember when my wife and I were in those years of struggle, I at least knew that success was possible for them. I just didn't know if it's possible for me. So the next step up, number 3, is improbable. So yes, it's possible. I believe it's possible. I just think that my odds are improbable. In other words, the odds of this panning out for me are not highly likely. The deck's stacked against me. Next step up is probable. Number 2 is probable, like stages of certainty. Like probable is, I think we freaking are going to pull this thing off. I think we, got what it takes. Now, I'm not saying we're for sure going to, but like it's looking good. Like the deck might be stacked in our favor. And then the highest level of certainty is inevitable. In other words, it's guaranteed. Like your success is guaranteed. Now, here's what's interesting. Chad, if I were to say to you, if we started a project together, including even Make Wellness, but if we started a project together, you would start with, this is inevitable, I'm going to win at this. And the reason why is not because you're that you're different than everyone else. It's that you've built the success muscles. It's like the success principles that have helped you be successful in other things. You'll just apply those same principles to this. Discipline, focus, hard work, resilience, just all the same principles that you built the first time. You'd use them in a new arena and just go do it again. You don't have to go through all those like, I don't know if it's possible, and maybe it is, but maybe not for me. It's improbable for me, and you just go right to inevitable. My friends, what if your success was inevitable? Like, what if you need a mentor, you need good opportunity, and then you need to put in the effort. In other words, to pay the piper, pay the price, do the work. My friends, what if life is actually not that far away? Like one of the things I try and encourage people to do is to pull dreams closer to you. Like one of the reasons I don't think we chase it is it just feels so freaking far away. Like we look at our bank account, we see the debt, and we see the behinds on the cards. Success feels so far away. One of the things you want to do is go touch the dream, pull it up closer. Like listen to the podcast, go meet the person, go get around people because they think things different. They look at things different. They start to act different, and you can pull success closer. You can make success things that right now feel like just a vision or a dream or a hope. And that stuff can start becoming reality, and it can become reality in a way shorter amount of time if you'll raise your certainty level of what's possible for you. One last quick thing I'll share just that I think helped me is it's a formula called II equals IO. So inputs in equal inputs out. It's like you want to change your health. You want to have the strength, the physical strength, or be able to run around with the kids and not have your back hurt, or your hamstrings hurt, or you want to lose some of those extra pounds. My friends, we need to change the inputs in to change the inputs out. In other words, maybe the food and the exercise and so on. Same thing would be true with your mind. Like, what book are we reading right now? Like, what time are we taking to listen to inspiring information, or to surround ourselves with uplifting people, or to apply what we learn, right? Like, you start changing the inputs in, and the inputs in change the inputs out. You start looking at things differently, your perspective change. And Wayne Dyer maybe said it best. He said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So the perspective and the context does matter as well.
Dude, that's so good. I mean, that's computer language, GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. I mean, and also I always encourage people, I said, pay attention to the people you're hanging around with. That's a biblical principle. Mm-hmm. You run around with the wrong folks, you lie down with dogs, you're going to get fleas. There's certain things that I think are communicable traits. Success is one of them. Wellness is one of them. Mental wellness, positivity, joy, those are contagious, right? You get around somebody. I always tell folks, if you walk past somebody in the mall, if you go to the store, you walk past, share a smile. I bet you they'll smile back.
Yes.
Typically they will, because it's a communicable trait. And so success can be that as well. And I don't know, I was in the airport the other day, and one of the producers on this show, everybody knows Royce Chamberlain. He sent me a text message, and he said, Justin Prince, my dad used to do work with him. He said he's a super good guy. And Royce's dad is a representative in Florida. He's a state rep in Florida, Ryan Chamberlain.
That's an amazing family.
Yeah, they're an incredible family. We love Royce. They're expecting their first. So just made that announcement on this morning's program.
I just saw that.
But love it. And Royce was like, oh, he's such a good guy. And I was like, I'm getting to know him. And it's just the way he's been accessible, and you have been, and it's just been amazing. And today, by the way, folks, is World Health Day. So this is a very timely time to be having this conversation. And I want to move in a little bit on the health side of the business and kind of what we're talking about. We'll talk about some other success principles as well. But I think your health has everything to do with how successful you become. Before we do that, though, we do have to do one more little bookkeeping thing. Justin, you still good on time? You all right, buddy?
Yeah, good.
All right. We won't keep you forever, but as long as we can, we're gonna. What is it? We're gonna wring this chamois dry, baby. Listen, folks, with everything that's going on in the economy, it feels like you're walking on some shaky ground. You got the prices that are at a high level, and nothing seems affordable anymore. Right now, people are relying on their credit cards, and credit card debt is skyrocketing. The interest rates are insane. Listen, if you're a homeowner, you don't have to face that uncertainty alone. You can get some help. My friends over at American Financing. They'll help you take control. You can get access to the equity in your home, help you pay down that high interest credit card debt, give you some peace of mind and a little bit of cushion. People right now with American Financing, on average, are saving $800 a month. So they can help you close that loan in as little as 10 days, but don't let the chaos of the economy get the best of you. Call American Financing today. It costs you nothing to get started. Their people do not work on commission, so they're not trying to sell you or upsell you. They are salaried people, so they're going to tell you the truth. And you may be able to delay 2 mortgage payments, which is going to give you more cushion. So call them at 888-675-4090. That's 888-675-4090. You can visit them at americanfinancing.net/Chad. And, of course, the disclaimer at NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. Check them out, americanfinancing.net. Give them a call. All right. Justin, what in the world is a peptide?
Yeah, that's a good question. Here's the simplest way to think about it is our body is built of proteins. Protein is the building block of your body. Peptides are small chain amino acids that are the building block of protein. The cool thing about peptides is they're cell signaling. They talk right to our cells. So a nutritional supplement, you take it like vitamins, minerals, whatever nutritional supplement, it kind of trickles down in your body and hoping to find some spots you're deficient in, where a peptide just cuts out the middleman and just goes boom, talks right to the cell signaling. So that's a simple way to think about it. They're the building block of protein, which is the building block of your whole body.
I keep trying to explain to people because they're like, talk to me about these supplements that you're talking about with Megan. I said, well, it's not really a supplement. It's a peptide, which is the building. It's what helps you synthesize protein. Now, I showed you these needles earlier, and I've taken everything from, people are taking Ozempic. They're taking tirzepatide. Now there's the retatrutide. And now, people are on Sermorella, and I see those ads pop up all the time. I see the CJC, $12.95, or the BP, all these different things. There's literally a peptide for everything. There's a peptide for tissue regeneration, for cognitive function. There's all kind of functions. I mean, there's sexual functions. There's weight loss functions. There's all these different things. There's a peptide for everything. But typically, there's synthetic peptides because you put them in a needle and they go, under the skin there, and it sort of bypasses the liver, so the liver's not breaking it down before your body gets to use it. You and Make Wellness, you guys came up with this thing, which is literally a naturally occurring peptide that you can take orally. And I've seen a lot of people in that world, fitness world, wellness world, whatever it may be. And by the way, the wellness industry, that's $6.3 trillion a year. People are interested in being healthy. Look at Party Foul Steve. He's the picture of health. Look at him. I'm telling you.
I sure am.
Boy, he is a specimen.
Better every day.
How does that work, though? I mean, is the science good on being able to take this stuff and
Yeah,
it
great
actually
question.
work as a peptide?
So the ones that you were referring to are what's called synthetic. They're what's called therapeutic peptides. So here's a way to think about it. A therapeutic peptide is a synthetic chemical compound that's compounded in a lab. You have to take it through an injection. You should be under doctor supervision for it. And you typically what's called cycle on, cycle off. So you'll use it for a month or 2 or 3 or whatever, and then you'll get off it for a period of time and then get back on. Because they can create some instability in the body. They have a long, what's called half-life, which just basically means they're active in your body for a long time, and they can become a little bit unstable over time. So you want to be under doctor supervision for a therapeutic peptide. Some of them, like the Ozempics and stuff, are actual drugs. Like those are owned by pharma, right? So peptides, what we market is what's called bioactive peptides. A bioactive peptide, instead of it being a synthetic chemical compound made in a lab, it's actually a naturally occurring peptide in nature. There's literally billions of peptides in nature. So nature, by the way, would be plants, it'd be food sources, it'd be marine life, even bacteria. So imagine your gut, like probiotic is a bacteria that helps you with your gut. So there's peptides like BPC 157 comes from the gut bacteria, for example. So when we were little babies, we've been doing bioactive peptides since we were little infants. When we were a little baby and you had mother's milk had colostrum. Colostrum is a peptide. The first therapeutic peptide that we were all familiar with is insulin, 100 plus years ago. And that was obviously a huge breakthrough in health. And so our world, the world that I try and help introduce people to and help people just to like next level up is the wellness world versus the healthcare world. Now here, healthcare sounds like, man, wow, that's a healthy world. Listen, you don't go to the healthcare industry because you're healthy. You go to the healthcare industry and participate because you're not healthy, because you're sick, right? It should be called the sick care industry because they're taking care of folks that are not feeling well. They're feeling sick. And my friends, listen, you can have a million dreams when you have your health. But when you don't have your health, you have one dream. Like this stuff matters. Like you want to be proactive and intentional. It's funny. It's like we'll do everything to destroy our health our whole life, and then we'll do everything we spend every dollar we've ever earned to get it back at the end. It's like, listen, live a healthy life. Like go for the walks, drink the water, like take the supplements. The cool thing with these bioactive precision peptides, there's two things. One, the research says that they are stable through the gut. They come in a matrix, a matrix of these small little branched chain amino acids, these small little forms of the small chain. So when they come in a matrix, so here's what's interesting. They have almost a way to think about it is they're encoded or encrypted. Like they can make it through the gut, and the other peptides take the bullets, and the main ones get through. I was on the phone with one of our scientists and some doctors and so on. They go, how did you guys create that matrix, that encryption? And the doctor said to him, so well, he said, we didn't create it. He said, Mother Nature created that. So she created that idea of how peptides can synergize with the body. The second thing I would encourage you to think about is this, though, is if you get a BPC 157 or any of those ones that you talked about earlier, what you're injecting is just a peptide. Boom, that's it, just a peptide. What we also did is we added a bunch of really potent, really powerful natural nutritional supplements as well. So other things that are naturally occurring substances that help in the systems of the body. So you're not just getting a peptide and you're not just getting a nutritional supplement. You're getting really like a super supplement. You're getting both peptides plus the nutritional supplement all in one. And that's one of the reasons I think people are having such incredible results with our product. One is there's no injections. People that are like, I don't really want to do an injection for every day for the rest of my life. It's just not I just don't want to do it. You got that. But then two is they taste great. You're doing like a stick pack in your water, for example, versus a needle. And it's like, would you like a cold, hard needle, sharp needle in your leg, or would you like a delicious, drink? People are like, I'll take the drink, please.
Party Foul's drinking the Energize right now.
Yeah. Even Party Foul Steve will drink it.
I mean,
and it's good stuff too.
Well, so when I found the product, I fell in love with it. I didn't know you could sell it and make money off of it. Listen, I've been in affiliate marketing forever. People always want to call me a sellout. I've been at everything I've ever done in my life ever that's made me successful. I was called a sellout at the beginning. Okay, so those fall on deaf ears. While I'm a sellout, I'm reading your comment while I'm standing in line at the bank to make deposits. But I don't do anything I don't believe in. Mm-hmm. And so it was amazing. I told Party Foul Steve, I said, hey, Make Wellness, you can actually be a part of this as a business. And I said, you're signing up. I'm signing you up. You're going to do it. Party Foul Steve fell in love with it. He ordered the big box, and
I ordered 2 big boxes. What are you talking about?
His
I
wife is an affiliate.
I got the whole family
now.
on it.
Isn't it crazy? Yeah, he started recruiting everybody. I think he was my top team in the last month. I was in it for 9 days at the end of March, and I was just people. It's easy to sell something you truly believe in. Let me tell you what I believe in, Justin. One, I drink water now, and I don't like water. I don't like water. I've put the Mio in there and the additives. This stuff is beautiful, beautiful. This is the tropical right here. But every morning, let me tell you, as a guy who deals with depression, okay, and I've taken the pills for it. I've gone to the doctor for it. I've done the hormone therapy as a guy where this wants to jump on me, and it has been a lifelong battle for me. I win that battle. I overcome that battle, but it's still there, and I'm honest about it. I get up in the morning. I do the hydrate. I put it in a thing of water, start drinking it. I do the lean. I do the energized, and I drink the energized later on. But I will do the focus. I come out of my morning routine with the most energetic, no hype, no jitters, nothing like that. The most focused, positive outlook on the day that I've had literally in 2 years. Justin, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that I'm ready to take on the world after my little morning routine that I have figured out. Now, I will say I'm still trying to figure out how to drink the Calm at night because I'm like, I don't know, not everything.
Dude, Calm's direct to mouth, bro, just like a pixie stick.
I'm telling you, you just got to take it. You just got to shoot
take
that
it.
sucker.
Go for it.
But there's certain things those of you who have followed me for any length of time, you know I'm not lying to you. I feel so good in the mornings. It is fantastic. I get up, put my face in some cold water. I didn't even need to see that guy's viral video to know to do that. I wash my face, take the Focus, take the Lean, and the Lean is amazing. I mean, I've heard some stories, success stories of people losing weight. You know, I guess over the last little while, I've lost a little weight, whatever. But there are people who are exchanging the needle for stuff like the Lean and the Fit with these peptides. Have you heard some winning stories? I mean, some success stories on stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Again, I look at them, they're just separate things. The therapeutics and the bioactive peptides are separate things. One way I would encourage you to think about it is this, though. Like if you were to invest money, you would look at what's the upside of this investment. Like in other words, what's the positive things that could happen here? What's the rate of return? That whole thing. But another set of questions that you should look at is basically what's the potential downside? Like what's the negative potential? Like, man, it's a little bit risky for these reasons and the market's volatile, whatever the negatives were. And then you would weigh those two and say, is there enough upside to kind of, account for the potential of the downside? The same thing is probably true on any, for sure, any drug you take, for sure. You say, what's the upside potential and what's the downside potential? You for sure should be asking that on a drug, but even maybe on a nutritional supplement, just like, what's the upside? Is there any downside risk? What I love about bioactive peptides, is there's upside and there's no negative downside. So in other words, it's just positive upside, where I'm not in any way at war with the therapeutics. I'm at war with the helping folks get healthy, the wellness space. That's my cry, going out there and helping folks realize that they can live a healthy, happy life.
Yeah.
But you do want to weigh the ups and the downs, the positives and the negatives on the therapeutics, where with bioactives, there's only positive upside. There's no downside of like, man, you got to cycle on this stuff. And, it can, I'll give you an example. Some of the GLP-1s, when that's activated in the human body, just in a natural form, it's activated for 2 seconds. And have you ever had that happen? So both of you, have you ever had this? You're eating a dinner, you're with your friends, and you've literally had enough. You just push the plate away a little bit. You want to still engage in the conversation, but your body's like, yo, I'm good, dude. Enough is enough. Well, what happens 5 minutes or 7 minutes or 10 minutes later is you kind of pull the plate back and you keep going, even though you're already at that's enough is enough, right? It's because when that GLP-1 activates, it activates for 2 seconds and it basically just tells you, yo, I'm full. What's challenging about what we're seeing with some of the therapeutics, and again, I'm not at battle with therapeutics, but one of the challenges we're seeing with some of these GLP-1s is that it basically activates that sensor, but it activates it for a week. So it like smashes it with the natural response with a sledgehammer. What's normally 2 seconds is now turned off for a week. So we don't know what that ultimately is going to mean, down the road. We don't know what that, turning that off for a week, what does that mean? And so I just love that we can have the upside of the benefit without any of the downside risk.
It's amazing, and I tell people, and I see people asking in the chat, asking questions about, can I take this with XYZ? Like if I take this med, can I take it with this? I'm not a doctor. I don't give you medical advice. Nothing about this show gives you medical advice. You need to consult with your doctor on anything like that. Check the ingredients and, of course, do that. But, when you're dealing with a biopeptide, these are things that should be naturally occurring in your body, or at least occurring in creation, right? So these are things that you're putting in that are natural. You shouldn't have any medicinal reactions to anything that's going on. I know that for me, I have not, but I can only speak for me. I am in close relationship with my own doctor. He's a good guy. He understands peptides. We communicate almost on a daily basis. He's a good friend, and he actually signed up as an affiliate. My doctor signed up as an affiliate. I now have 2 physicians who have signed up to be affiliates with their clinics with Make Wellness. That's how much they believe in what's going on. Because again, people don't want to keep sticking themselves with needles. And also we understand that big pharma, they're not out there they don't want you dead. They want you dependent. right? So they want to make sure that they keep good customers. When we talk about wellness, we're talking about getting away from all of this. And I see people who say, well, it's expensive. I tell you what's expensive is being in poor health.
Hey, Chad, I just want to remind
That's what's expensive.
I just want to remind you, Chad, that your doctor, I think, was introduced to you by me.
No, he came to a show. I'll tell you what
Yeah,
happened.
but
You knew it, but he came to a show, and we were doing a show, and he was in the lobby. We met he and his wife, and I said, "Man, I feel terrible. What can you do for me?" He said, "We're going to put something in your butt." And I go, "Wait a minute," and he said, "No, we're gonna start you on some testosterone therapy," and we messed around with all kind of things, man, and it's just like, again, like you said, it's practicing medicine, right? And so I encourage people to find out the things that your body's missing, and especially the older we get, we don't produce the growth hormones, and we don't produce the peptides and all these things that historically made us feel good when we were young, right?
Yeah, we talked about that when we were chatting the other day. One way to think about it, guys, is like, can you drive your car around if your tires are really low in air pressure, your coolant's gone, you have very little window wiper, it splits out just a little bit of window wiper fluid, you have basically no oil left and no gas in the tank. Can you still drive the car? Yeah.
you can, but it ain't
not
fun.
very hard, not very well, but yeah, it moves. So the question is, what could we do to optimize the car? We would fill up the tires, to an optimal level of air pressure. We would fill the oil, optimize that, maybe change out the filter. We would put some gas in, make sure it's got the proper coolant levels. We'd put some window wiper fluid in. Point is, we would optimize the car. So it's not just like running; it's actually running with an optimal level. And if you do that with your car, same car it's about to kill over, you maybe will get another 100,000 miles out of, right? The same thing's true with our health. Most of us are not running optimally. We're not optimizing our health. Like, are we getting around? Yes. Are we surviving? Yes. Are we, moving from day to day? Yeah. But are we like optimized? Like, do we feel great? Do we have high sustained amounts of energy? Do we have a lot of mental clarity and focus? Do we have lean muscle mass? Are we losing, just as we age, losing our lean muscle mass? Or do we feel like we're gaining and holding on to lean muscle mass? Or, do we have more visceral fat just kind of building up over the years? Or are we feeling lean and strong and tight and active, and fit? And so there's things you can do. A bioactive peptide regimen is probably the first one I'd start with to optimize your health. Optimize it to where you feel great. You're not just like surviving life. You really are thriving. And man, it is a different life. It's life is so interesting. It's like, if you're just getting through, I try and just remind people, this is all we get, my friends. This is it. This is real time right here. So man, there's no redos on this deal. Like, we're all gonna die and there's no redos. So it's one of those things you want to start today and optimize your health to where you do have more clarity and focus. You do have more energy. You are doing things to maintain or gain some lean muscle mass. Lean muscle mass, check this out. They've done studies that said that having lean muscle mass decreases all morbidities by 17%. Lean muscle mass. It's just critical to hold on to your strength as you age. You think about an elderly person. When we're 25, you've kind of got that little bit of muscle, and when we're 85, it's just we've shrunk. We lose about 30% of our lean muscle mass as we age, starting about age 35 to 40. You want to maintain this stuff and do things every day, because this is how you feel fit, lean, and happy today, and how you start taking care of yourself 10 years, 15 years from now as well.
That's amazing. I encourage everybody. I threw my link, my affiliate link in there. That's how strongly I believe in it. And I'll have people all the time who'll say, "Well, it's another, network marketing." Listen, every business in the world has levels to it. Okay, I'm just saying. There's a boss and there's people out there doing the work and they're selling the whole thing. I'm telling you, I have never been more excited to be a part of something. This has re-energized my focus, not just the supplements, just the business side of it. I encourage everybody to get on my team. And you get on Party Foul Steve's team, he's going to do okay.
Yeah.
He's going to do all right.
Already doing okay, but I want to do a lot better. And
Yeah.
I look forward to doing a lot better.
Just yesterday, after like 2 weeks in the company, I've already qualified for a trip to Mexico. Why not? May as well go. May as well
Can
do
you
it.
shift some points over to mine if I don't make it?
No,
'Cause
homeboy. You're going to be out there with Justin's kid picking up trash around the
you know I'll do it.
I know you will. Justin, just real quick before I let you go, brother, thank you for your time, man. And I want to encourage
Yes, thank
everybody to follow his podcast. I am Justin Prince, .com. Check it out. He's an incredible speaker. He's in demand. He's been on the stage with some major players, the John Maxwells of the world, some guys that I've trafficked with a little bit, and he's an incredible motivator. You know this about him. But get his book, Be the One. Check that book out. And I was listening to your podcast the other day, Justin. You had your doctor friend from down under, and I listened to it twice about the science of the peptides and the naturally occurring stuff out there. It's a fascinating deal. Final thing, though, before I let you go. Is this a good opportunity for people? I mean, not just the wellness side of it, but the business side of it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'd share this with you. So our business model is a direct-to-consumer business model. So basically, we say you have in any business model, you have basically what they call customer acquisition cost. The acronym is CAC, C-A-C, customer acquisition cost. It's basically saying, okay, we got an idea, we got a product, got a service. How do we go get a customer to hear about it? So what are you going to do? You're going to run meta ads, on Facebook and Instagram? Are you going to run YouTube ads? Are you going to do a billboard, on a freeway somewhere? Are you going to run TV ads, radio ads? What are you going to do? How are you going to go find a customer, tell them your story? And we feel like when people fall in love with our products, that's the best testimony. It still is, even here we are today, which is just word of mouth referral. Like, hey, I love the stuff. I think you will too. That customer to customer sharing, that word of mouth or referral is the most powerful referral in the world. And so if you look at aloe vera came to market through direct sales, meaning a person told a person, said, hey, this stuff is really good for your skin if you get a sunburn, the whole thing. That company that did that did tens of billions of dollars in revenue, paid out billions of dollars in advertising costs for folks to go share that story. If I said to you, have you ever heard of an antioxidant? What would you say? I think all of us would say, well, of course I have, right? Well, 25 plus years ago, there was a company that came to market, said, hey, we got this thing called antioxidants. There's this thing called free radical biology. And everyone's like, I don't even know what you're talking about right now. But they started educating people one at a time, person to person, friend to friend, sister to sister, coworker to coworker, and said, this stuff's freaking awesome. And that company sold tens of billions of dollars telling the antioxidant story, paid out billions in commissions to these people that went out and told it. Now it's a ubiquitous term. We all know what it means. How many of you have ever heard of essential oils? You get a headache or whatever, your nose is clogged or whatever, and your wife or whoever says, hey, listen, do this with essential oils. That came to market through direct sales, a consumer telling a consumer, and they did tens of billions, paid out billions of commissions. My friends, this bioactive precision peptide platform is in my opinion, bigger than all of those platforms. And it affects every system of the body. It's not just one or two or three or four systems. It's all the systems. And this will be, an idea that can generate tens of billions of dollars in revenue. If that's in fact true, it'll pay out billions of dollars in commissions to folks that go out there and tell the story, educate people. Hey, man, I love these products. This is what a peptide is, and I'm using them. And you may have heard of it before. That education process is hyper valuable. Your influence is hyper valuable. Your ability to move people, to share with people is hyper valuable. And I noticed in the comments there was someone that's saying this idea of like, you're just trying to sell people a dream. Listen, let me share something with you. It's so interesting. I got super skeptical about the dream. People were like, you can do it and success is possible. And I got super skeptical, almost cynical, candidly, because my journey was not a straight rocket ship ride. It was years and years and years and years and years of grinding. So when you're grinding, you look at people that are selling the dream of what's possible, and you can look with a cynical eye sometimes. It's interesting. As I became a little more successful, I went on a tour through the former Soviet Union, through Moscow, Omsk, Russia, Almaty, Kazakhstan, speaking throughout these different spots. And I went through these countries as part of the former USSR that for 70 years, from 1921 after the Bolshevik Revolution to 1991, for 70 years, basically a generation of people, 70 years, you couldn't have dreams. You wanted to read the book, they burned all the books. You wanted to worship God, it was an atheist country. If you worship God, they'd kill you. In fact, Olga, my interpreter, her one husband was shot in the back of the head and dumped into a pond. The other guy was shot multiple times in the back. Those are her two husbands. This is like real life. She was from Kiev in Ukraine, a little spot. Now we hear of these things in America, and in America, bless our hearts, we can be a little bit flippant with dreams, a little bit flippant with goals, a little bit flippant that we just get to go pursue it. Because I'm going to encourage everyone, breathe in real quick. Everyone smell this real quick. Everyone smell this. Do you want to know what that smells like? It smells like political freedom and economic opportunity. Not everyone in the world gets to breathe that same air. That's really rare air. It's air you have to fight for, by the way. It doesn't just because you breathe it and your mama breathed it and your grandma breathed it and doesn't mean you'll breathe it forever. You got to fight for that air. Economic opportunity and political freedom. So when I got home, I realized chasing your dreams, chasing your goals, going for it in your life, doing something with your life, living all out, jumping out of the dish, as we talked about earlier, that's not just your right. In America, it's just your right. You can do it if you want. You don't have to. It's your responsibility, because there's people that will do anything to breathe that kind of air. They do anything to chase a dream, chase a goal. And we get a little flippant sometimes because we're just so used to it. We just think that we've always breathed this air, political freedom, economic opportunity. One of the reasons I admire you, both of you, Chad, as you're doing this, is you're teaching people political freedom, economic opportunity. This stuff is rare. Make something of it. Go make something of your life because you get this. You get to breathe this rare air. So I really respect that about you. I respect that you encourage people to chase dreams and to think bigger and to have change their thinking and their perspective. You get to here, but because we think it's our right, my friends, I want to challenge you to say, this is your responsibility because not everyone else gets to do it.
That's awesome.
100%.
That's awesome. Justin, thank you, brother. I know your time is precious. You're doing a fantastic job. Y'all check him out. Get his book, Be the One, and justinprince.com, right? I got
yes,
that
sir.
right? Yeah, justinprince.com. Get the book, check it out, listen to his podcast, all the things, join the team, be a part of what we're doing. We'll keep you motivated. I've got a Shout app. I'm daily engaged in conversation with the people that are on my Chad connection on my Shout app about this, and we're doing some fun things, communicating with people, and like you said, teaching people to dream. So Party Foul Steve and I are going to hang around a little bit. We'll jump into the chats here, but Justin, I'll let you go, brother. Get back to
love it, brother. What an honor to be on
changing the
here.
world. Thank you, brother. Thank you so
Appreciate
much,
you guys.
man.
Stopping
Keep up
in.
the good work.
Justin Prince,
Steve.
everybody. Yeah, I love it. Thank you, brother. All right, guys, man, that's a mouthful.
Man, that was a quick hour, and I got educated a little bit more because I have been doing the reading and the studying on it, everything. But hear some more stuff. It makes me hunger for some more knowledge about it.
I'm telling you, dude. We had people over the weekend that couldn't define what kakistocracy was, and they were out there. They were out there holding the sign up because somebody gave them a sign that said "Fight the kakistocracy." They didn't even know what that was.
That would be like if I was running the country.
I'm like, you think you guys could learn what a peptide is? And I mean, this literally when you were on your mom's breast getting the colostrum, that was a peptide. And I am unapologetic about this. I embarrassed Justin the other day. And I'm going to go back and watch watch this again because I want to go back to his list of that thing where he was talking about, where it's impossible, it's probable, or not probable or probable, all those things. I embarrassed him the other day. We were on a conference call, on a Zoom call, as I was getting to know him a little bit. And I mean, here's a guy who's he sold $2.5 billion worth of product. I mean, it's not often you get the owner of a company, a founder and owner of a company like this to come on your show and talk and inspire you, and he did inspire me. But I was talking to him the other day. I said, "Dude, I'm like a homo coming out of the closet right now. Like I have discovered something that makes me feel good, and I'm a person that I've spent a lot of time not feeling good. You know that, right?
Yeah, no, I've seen it. I've seen it even just the last 3 weeks. I've seen
it was rough, dude. 3 weeks ago, brutal.
Yeah,
yeah. I go through those. I've gone through those things, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this stuff. We'll see what happens with it, and I got excited.
Well, I'm doing the focus, which is the peptide for the focus, and that's the pill form. Taking it every morning. The only time that I've noticed is when I didn't take it. Yeah. I noticed it. I didn't notice it was making any kind of change. I just knew that when I didn't take it, something wasn't right. And I've started the Energize drink too, just to give me cut back on that morning cup of coffee. And
it's so good.
Energize.
I
like coffee. I kind of like just drinking coffee in the morning. That's me and the wife. We have our cup of coffee in the morning together. So it's that's how we start our day.
Y'all are cute.
So
well, I threw my link. I threw my link into the chat here. on Rumble. I will send a link over to Mr. Producer, and he can put it over in the description of the podcast. But I will say this, people say, well, Chad, you're just selling. Steve, you know the secret. Any money that I make, I'm giving away. Like we're building businesses for other people, but we're using this to bless other people. I'm fortunate. I'm thankful I can go out and do live shows, and we're working to build other people. And so that's how much I believe in it. So anyway, it's good. Let's see, Roxanne, you said, I heard you'll be in Hattiesburg. Please visit my brother's steakhouse, Benson's. I'll tell him to look for you. Oh, we'll go.
Hey,
We'll go.
don't tempt us with a good steak.
Oh, and by the way, if you become an affiliate, sign up for a subscribe and save, order a little product or something like that. I extended the giveaway through tonight. I will be sending you an email if you sign up as an affiliate and you sign up on subscribe and save with Make Wellness on my link right there. If you do that, everybody gets you get a free T-shirt. I'll be reaching out to you to get your size and all that. I'm going to be sending out some free T-shirts. So, but we were going to stop it at noon today. We're going to extend it through tonight. And
if you sign up under mine, you get a big thank you.
Yeah. And let me tell you, you can sign up under Party Foul Steve's. If you get some affiliates,
I just put the link. I put my link in the.
I'll send a T-shirt to your affiliates. If
Y'all
some
hear that?
affiliates do that, if you get people sign up under Party Foul Steve's link.
And we did the monthly subscription for Tony. She does because she does the fit stuff.
Yeah.
And
hey, I see Mary. Mary's in there. She posted her affiliate link. Sign up under Mary.
Yeah.
And listen,
there you go.
I don't care. If you guys are one of my affiliates in there, you put it in the chat. There's no holds barred here. I want all of you to succeed. If you sign up under me, fine. Party Foul Steve, Mary, anybody that's out there, you sign up. This is a team, baby. And we're accessible. I'm literally sending emails out. We're doing, look at my little Trumps, dude. Look how cute.
I got your email today, and I was sitting in the next room.
Linda Adams said, fight, fight, fight. Look at it. Ah.
Little baby Trump.
Todd's on my team. Tony's on my team. Maggie Moo's on my team. Party Foul Steve, CJ, Sarah Gonzalez is on my team. If you want to be on their team, do it. Do it. I love this stuff. I drink a gallon of water every day easily. I'm doing all the stuff. I've never seen you
drink as much water as you have in the last 3 or 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, what have I always said, Steve? It's like I got to have the Mio or the additive to put in there. Yeah. But this stuff, it's a science. I follow this doctor on Instagram, and he is a guy that just speaks my language. If you're not following, I don't know him. Let me see if I can pull up his deal. It's Dr. Oh, that's not the guy. Dr. Nick. There he is. Dr. James D. Nicolantonio. Dr. James. And so if you follow him, he's, what's his ad on, he is, Dr. James Dinick, D-I-N-I-C, Dr. James Dinick.
Dinick.
I've been following this guy for a while now. And one of the things that he said was, instead of taking coffee every morning, which again, if you enjoy your coffee, enjoy it. He says, hydrate before you caffeinate. And one of the things he says, if you'll use electrolytes in your water, he said you'll get a bigger, whatever you want to call it, a high off of that than you will than drinking the coffee.
I drink water in the shower in the morning. That's the first thing I do is take a shower.
Yeah.
I drink some in the shower.
Yeah.
And then it's coffee.
But he's a big proponent of getting sunlight in the morning, getting magnesium, getting the glycine. Here's what it said. Here's the post right here. He says, stop drinking coffee first thing in the morning. Drink 16 ounces of salt and electrolyte water first. Your energy, mood, and focus will skyrocket. If you haven't tried this, you don't know what you're missing. You'll feel like a new person. Brother, I hate to admit at 52 years of age that this is the truth. This is the truth. People, I believe there's certain things. We've talked about our friends at Bright Core Nutrition with the gut health, the kimchi. Take it every day. Take it every single day. I got the new order of the ivermectin in from our all family pharmacy. I'm doing an anti-parasitic deal right now. I'm a brand new man, bro. I'm doing the electrolytes. I'm doing the peptides, which I've always done, but I've always done it with a needle. Now I'm doing it orally, and I'm telling you, it makes a difference. And again, some people still do the needle. There's nothing wrong with it if that's the science you want to chase. You just get tired of being a pincushion. But can I tell you, Steve, I've been a person who on again, off again over the last 30 years has taken like an antidepressant, a small dose now. And I don't tell anybody this. I'm just telling you for me personally, because I've always said when it comes to depression stuff, deal with yourself and deal with your God and deal with your doctor and deal with your therapist. But don't be getting crazy on your own. But I feel better today than I have felt in 2 years. In 2 years. It wasn't an overnight thing. It took me a couple of weeks to get here. I feel better today.
I thought it was just me moving back to Texas. I thought that did it for you.
No, I did a lot. It did a lot. But let me tell you, man, God is right now in my life, and I think in a lot of people's lives. Let me tell you what God's doing, okay? I'll just preach to you for a second. You know this because you hear me walking around the house talking about it. God's restoring some things, man. God is bringing some things back. When I tell you in the next, 48 hours, 36 to 48 hours, when I tell you what God has brought back into my life, unreal. Miracle. Miracle, Steve.
Yep.
Miracle. I don't even want to talk about it too much until it's done. Miracle. I love it so much, dude. I'm so excited. I am so excited.
There you are.
I'm posting my link one more time. I can't stand it. I don't even know.
Oh, wait. Why? Because I did it twice? You got to do it twice?
Do it. Y'all put your link in there, dude. Oh, my gosh. Okay, we got super chats. We got to get out of here. I got an appointment at 3:15.
We got super chats?
I think we got one or two. Let's see what we got, Mr. Producer.
Right.
Let's see. I'm gonna get Mr. Producer on the show tomorrow. We're gonna do a big reveal of Mr. Producer tomorrow if he'll do it.
Man, some people are gonna go, wow.
I know. They don't have a clue.
Because he's kind of a big deal. He's kind of a big deal.
And he's been behind the scenes for a long time. MXY 859, amen. God sure does. Jeremiah 29:11 through 14. Those are my life verses right there. He really brings you back when you seek him with all your heart. That's right. He does know the plans he has for us, man. They are plans to prosper us. That's a beautiful deal. I don't know if we got any more. Let's see what we got. Nothing? No? Yeah. Man, Justin Prince is the real deal, dude. Let me tell you, Abby and Sarah and Kendall and Wes and just some of these people that I've talked to and gotten to know. We had a deal. Let me tell you guys what happened to me over the weekend. We had a deal where some lefty wacko libo went in and tried to say that I was doing all these things with their company, with the Make Wellness company. And they actually, the legal team at Make Wellness shut my link down because they thought I was like running ads and cookieing people and all this kind of stuff. Trust me, I ain't smart enough to know how to do any of that stuff, nor would it cross my mind to do it. But I said, I was laughing. I go, I didn't do any of this. I think somebody sabotaged my deal. And they're like, well, we kind of think that somebody like sabotaged you. They came after you and accused you of some stuff. But they got it fixed. They got it fixed within an hour or two. So
the support team, not just with that kind of stuff like that, but the support team, because they do the Zoom calls on Mondays and then Monday during the day and Thursdays during the evening, just to get on there for like 5 or 10, even because they do it for, it's like an hour long, but even if you get in there 10 or 15 minutes and man, the people on there that you can grab a little bit of knowledge on how they do things with how they handle their Make Wellness, their business.
Yep.
Because it is their business.
I had somebody on my Facebook page yesterday or the day before was like, I'm already annoyed with these posts. And I'm like, first of all, I have 4 massive Facebook pages. I've basically only been sharing to my personal profile. So y'all can kiss my rear end on that one.
I share it to everything I have. If you get tired of it or unfollowing me, they go. My Instagram has increased. I'm up over 6,000. That's amazing.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's
At Party Fell Steve, 520 home girl. Here you go. Jesus is king. I agree.
Jesus is king.
Didn't even need $5 to say it. I love it. I love it. All right, we'll jump over here. Party Foul. You feel good?
I am unfortunately tomorrow. I am not gonna be here.
No, Steve's out there making miracles happen.
I gotta take care of business.
Yeah. It's all part of what we're telling you.
business.
It's all part of what we're telling you. So,
Anyway, good things to come. Good things to come with Make Wellness. Join our team. Join my team.
so what I'm gonna start doing is just tell everybody jump on Steve's team. It all works out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will say if you're on my team, you get to get in the Shout app and get in the chat. And you get the invitation to that, and you get a little piece of me. We sent out a newsletter today with my little 3-minute inspirational video. I'm putting some special videos.
Yeah,
There's
I got to
no
figure
promo
out how
code.
to do that. Maybe
People
I
ask
should
about
do
a promo code. There's no promo code with this. What we encourage you to do is sign up as an affiliate and then get on the subscribe and save, and that builds in the deal. And that
the
gets
thing
you.
about it, even if you're not ready to subscribe and save or not ready to purchase, go ahead and get on the team. Because that costs nothing to get on that team.
Yeah.
And then you can get in there and kind of feel it out and see, because it's not, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah. If it can make me drink water, then miracles happen.
That's
So I see you ask if I'm getting married. No. Not saying never, but no. All right, guys. What else can I tell you? All right. This Friday night, Conroe, Texas. Saturday night, Arlington, Texas. Me and the Ragamuffins. That's me, Steve, and Ben. We'll be there doing a little music and some fun stuff. We got to work on. We're working on some gospel music, some fun sounds, because on May 3rd we're going to be in Mount Pleasant, Texas, out at His Glory Ranch. We're having a day of just celebrating God and country and family out there at Pastor Dave's ranch out there. Beautiful spot, right? And we're.
Pastor Dave's former Marine.
Pastor Dave, that's right. We're going to be out there with him, and Lara Logan's going to come out. She's going to host that. We're going to be out in the field all afternoon and evening, have a good time. And our buddy Nick Searcy from Justified was going to be there, but he had something that came up. He's not going to be there, but we'll get Nick on something else. What else? Oh, you can join Kendra's team. Kendra, Todd, all the folks. But yeah, just learn what a peptide is. I feel good. All right. What was I going to tell you? Oh, then we're going to be in Hattiesburg, and I think we're in New Orleans, which is Jefferson, Louisiana, the week after that.
Right. I mean, it's literally, it's not far from the food court at all.
No. And so we'll go down there and get some good food and do a show down there, me and Jesse Payton and I. We'll do that. And then we're in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. All right. Party foul. I love you, buddy. I'll see you in 5 minutes when we get off of here. All right. For the rest of you guys, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click like. This was a fun episode. I love this. This is the kind of thing I love, dude. Just having a conversation, but with just good people about good things and having a good time makes your life better. So be a part of what we're doing, man. I love you. Make sure you tune in for Hot Seat Todd. He'll be around at 3 o'clock. Maggie Moo be on this evening, I think. And then Brianna Morello. Oh, boy, all kind of fun things going on. Don't miss tomorrow morning. Dear America, we'll be back with you at, what time? 8 Central. All right, we'll talk to you then. I love you. God bless you. We'll talk to you then. Bye.